all of us are going to be dead in 100, not even in 100, let's say 70, or let's say 100. All of us, every single person that is watching this video right now, not in the future, right now. If you're watching this video right now, all of us are going to be dead in 100 years. And now the question is, what will people remember you for when the credits are over? What will people say this person was? How will they say that you touched them? Will it be because that you built a building? Will it be because you took someone out and they ate? Is it because you had money in your bank account? What will people remember you for? Because people don't remember what you have built for yourself, but how you made them feel. And what I am learning this season is, in every single thing that I am doing, is it eternity focused? In every single word that I get to speak, is it an encouragement or is it to bring people down? When I die, the desire is for Christ to be seen in every single word and every single action that I took. Not focused on myself, but focused on bringing people to the identity of Christ. That is why even the NGO that we have, the vision is to create a safe space for you guys to get to experience transformation through growing your gifts and talents while overcoming mental illness and trauma. Because trauma can make you see Christ from the filters of your pain, meaning you will not see Christ for who he is, you will see Christ from the pains that you have gone through. So it is upon you to get to seek therapy. It is upon you to get to find healing, so that as Christ is transforming you, you do not get to see him from that filter. You do not get to see Christ as your father that hurt you in the past. You do not get to see Christ as someone else, but you get to see him for who he is, walking in step with the Spirit so that you do not gratify the desires of the flesh, making sure that you stand by faith and you do not gratify the desires that you have in your flesh, and understanding that the boldness and the gift of life is in you, the power for you to speak life, and the power for you to understand that you are a king, meaning you can decree and declare every single thing into existence. So ladies and gentlemen, as you're walking in life right now, are you bold enough to actually say that you are not ashamed of the gospel of Christ, because it is the power of God unto salvation to every single man that believes, first to the Jews, then to the Greeks? Understanding this will give you so much freedom. And also understand this, regardless of whatever you're doing and people being around you, whatever is happening in your life, please understand that your life is not meant to be pleasing people. Your life is meant to speak the truth. Christ never spoke to please people, because he said he is the way, the truth, and the life. And as Christ saying that you shall know the truth and the truth shall set you free. It is not for you to twist the truth to accommodate people's feelings. It's for people to get to experience the truth for what the truth is, because the truth cannot be turned again to be a relative when it is an absolute, if the truth is a person. But understand this, if you do not desire to know this person who is the truth, how then will you get to understand what he has said when you get to experience the words that has been spoken, when people say that this is what Christ has said? How will you get to know that this is what he said? So this is why we need to get to study the word, my people. You need to get to study the word. You need to get to put yourself in his presence to understand that people will fail you. You will go through hardships. You will go through pain. Some people are going through. You who are looking at me right now, maybe you're depressed, maybe you have anxiety, but understand this, God is in the present. Isaiah 26:3, I think it's Isaiah 26:3 that says, he keeps in perfect peace those whose minds are stayed in him. When you are staying in Christ, it means that you have an attitude of gratitude in every single situation. Meaning when gratitude is your character, abundance and Christ's presence will be your focus, from the context of you staying in him and him fulfilling every single thing. And then another thing I need to tell Christians, by the way, this is just for, by the way, you need to understand this. When Christ was speaking to the disciples in Matthew chapter 6, when he says, why do you focus on these things, from the context of what you will eat, what you will drink, and what you will wear? Only pagans worry about these things. So your life as a king and as a son of God is not to focus on the things that are happening around you, but to focus on the mission that Christ has given you. Focus focus on what Christ has said your mission is, not from the context of your rent, not from the context of what you'll eat, not from the context of where you'll sleep, but from the context of what is the purpose that God has put me on this earth to do. My people, you need to be bold enough to do it, because the other misconception that we have is you're going to spend 50 years working for someone from 6 to 12 midnight so that we can save up, but we never save up because a lot of things come up over and over and over. And until you understand that freedom, and God did not create you, this is no offense to the people that hire people, because I also have staff, there are seasons to which you get to work for someone, but I do not believe that your season, your life is meant to work for people from 18 to 75. Understand this. When will you get to use your youth to the glorification of God? When will you get to speak life to other people if from 6 to 6 or from 6 to 9 you get to be busy building someone else's vision? When will you get to build your vision? If you're in the season where you're working for someone right now, that is a season that you need to be grateful for, but you understand this. When you reach home at night, work on your vision. Work on the thing that God has given you on this earth to do. That assignment that you know in your heart that God has said that this is what you need to do. Because if you don't fix that problem that God has brought you on this earth to do, then who will? The reason as to why the grave is known as the most expensive place on earth is not because people come there and people drop flowers. It's because that dreams that were never fulfilled are there. People that were supposed to solve world problems died there because they were distracted trying to follow things that do not exist. Until you understand that money follows ideas, until you understand that money follows solutions, you will always be focused on chasing the bag, and the bag does not exist. Because if money is a perception that has been brought by human beings to help us transact, but in real sense, it does not have any value behind it unless we say it has. If you do not have a solution to solve, you will be praying and fasting for God to provide things, but God will not. Why? Because there are principles to this. There are principles to you getting specific things. God is not behind your feelings to perform. He is behind his word to perform. And God does not give you money. He gives you the ability to make wealth. So until you understand this in your heads, you will be living life from the context of, I'm always praying. God is not. I'm always fasting. God is not. You need to learn management. You need to learn how to be a steward of the things that God has put in your hands. And also every single thing that God has given in my life. Your life is not supposed to be like this. Your life is supposed to be like this. Meaning that every single thing that God puts in your hand, he has the ability to take it away. Paul was speaking about this in I think 1 Corinthians chapter 7. Every single thing. For the people who are married are supposed to act like they are single. For the people who have the things that they have, they're supposed to act like they do not have. From the context of your life is supposed to be like this. Whether God decides to take it away, ni sawa. Whether God decides to leave it in your hands as a steward, but just remember, it is not in you. It is on your hands, meaning you are a steward. If you are unfaithful, God will take it away. Understand this. It all starts here. And you have to have that boldness of walking in light with the word that God has given you, so that you understand. If you are unfaithful, it is to your own peril. The worst thing for you to do in this life is for you to be in your deathbed and realize that you never truly lived. Ladies and gentlemen, be blessed.